Hi, welcome back to the channel, Michelle, and today I'm going to be talking about allowances for kids. So I have a video up, and I'll link it up above, kids' chores, how we handle chores in our house. And to sum that up really quick, my kids have visual chore charts. So for example, this is my 6.5-year-old's, and these are just from the Dollar Tree. This is my 3.5-year-old's. You can see his is more a pocket chart. But to sum that up, they have 2 to 3 basic chores that they have to do every week, and that's on top of, basic hygiene and cleaning up their toys and laundry and things like that. So they will pick additional chores. Those are the base chores, but the additional chores are in this. My 6.5-year-old will pick 2 additional chores, and my 10-year-old will pick 3 additional chores on top of personal hygiene and folding load laundry and putting away every day. Those are their basic things. So, as I explained in that video, I have all their chores color-coded on cardstock, and the reason this is for my cleaning, and I'll link that up above. How I handle cleaning is zone cleaning, so I break my house into different zones, and each zone is represented by a different color here. So if you flip these around, it's got pictures for them of what they need to do, and each of those chores correlate with things I have to accomplish. So they're doing things like dusting baseboards, polishing furniture. They do basic kid chores, but also household things. And we've always had the kids doing household chores. As you can see, my 3.5-year-old's job this week was just to pick up his room. His is pretty basic, but he's fully capable of participating as well. And we've always seen it as we're all members of this house. We have to work together to make sure it's clean and upkept. So recently, my oldest has approached me on the topic of allowance. So we tend to only buy, toys or things like that during holidays or birthdays. We don't just go out and buy random toys. And my kids have always had the option of doing extra chores to earn money. And that was never really a big thing with them. But again, my 10-year-old recently approached me last month saying, hey, I would like to start earning more consistent and have an allowance. That way I can start buying things for myself. And I said, that's great. So she has an Amazon wish list that has all the things she's interested in. And when she sees something in a store, she'll add it to her wish list, or she'll ask me to add it to her wish list. And that's her running list of things she wants. So for example, we were at Walmart the other day and she saw a Tamagotchi. So she wants to get a Tamagotchi now. And I said, okay, that's great. So we talked about her allowance and how we would handle this. And this is my oldest child. This is our first time really handling this situation or having it come up. So I thought, hey, this would be a good time to talk to you guys about it, because maybe you're in similar situations, or if you have kids who earn allowance, how do you do it? So I thought about how I was going to handle it, because again, she has her basic 3 chores that she has to do that, and how we handle that is in order for my kids to get their screen time. So they get 30 minutes on a tablet, 30 minutes of a TV show every day. In order to get that, they have to have their chores completed. And some of the bigger chores have to be completed absolutely by Friday. That's the deadline. So I've never had an issue with them completing chores, which is really nice. But my daughter wants to earn money. So I was thinking, do I add additional chores for her? Do I just pull from the pile I already have? And then it dawned on me, I can just have her start working on the list I work from. So again, with that zone cleaning, I have what's called a control binder. And in here is the master list of, as you can see here, this is just an old binder that I repurposed. It's got tabs here, so they're weekly plan, zones, emergency contact information, and my meal planning in the back. In the zones category, again, this was just printed from Fly Lading Cleaning website. These are free printables. I just added some, as you can see on the bottom, that pertain specifically to my house. So I split my house into different zones. I believe there's 4 or 5. There are 5 zones. So my house is split into 5 different zones. And again, the kids' chores color code to that zone. So every month I work on a specific zone. So if I'm on zone 1, that's my front entrance, the dining room, and our front porch. That is all zone 1. That's what I will focus on at the beginning of the month. And then the next month, I will go into zone 2, which is just completely the kitchen, because the kitchen has a lot of cleaning that has to get done. But the really nice thing about this is because I have it structured this way, I'm not doing spring cleaning, winter cleaning. I'm not doing deep cleaning. Because I'm doing a little bit of cleaning every single day off this list, my house isn't a disaster. People can walk in, knock on the door, and I'm not like, oh my God, there's things everywhere. There's nothing wrong with having kids' toys out in a lived house. But for me personally, I need an environment that's a little bit more organized. It's kind of a trigger for me to have a chaotic environment. I grew up in that, and it's just a trigger for me. So having an organized environment and knowing when things are getting clean takes the stress off me, and I don't have to worry about, oh, I gotta clean this or I gotta clean this. And there's no deep cleaning because it's all getting done over time. So again, every day I will clean Monday through Friday. I will clean 20 minutes. So whatever I can get accomplished on that list in 20 minutes, great. I will never finish the list in a month, and that's completely fine because I will circle back to it. So the following month I go on to a new zone, and eventually I will circle back to that original zone, and I will start off with the things I didn't get accomplished from the previous month. So it's really, because it's organized that way, it's a lot easier to handle and there's no stress on me. So what I decided to do for my daughter is have her pick 3 of these things on whichever zone we're on. So we are on zone 1 for this month for August. So she chose the first week, she chose clean the cobwebs. So she would dust the front porch area, she would dust the entrance, and she would dust the dining room for cobwebs because we have an older house and spiders are just everywhere. She chose to add your own welcoming touches. So it's not just cleaning, she chose to decorate it. So she got some flowers from our garden, put it in the center, and just little personal touches like that, which I think is fun. It's not just about making sure your house is clean and sparkly. It's about realizing your home is something you live in, to enjoy it, and to see cleaning it as kind of a blessing of your house. You're taking care of it. And I think having that mentality over, oh my God, I have to scrub the floors again, kind of switching your mindset does help. So she chose that one, and then the third one was to clean the windows. So for that, we have a lot of windows on our first floor. So what I actually had her do is we have some glass paned doors into our dining room, into our living room. Again, older house. So I just had her go through and clean those because there's 12 little window panes to each of those. So I had her do front and back to those 2 doors, and that was enough. I can do the regular windows myself, but she chose that. And then the next week she chose to clean all the switch plates and handprints off the walls. So she Lysol wiped all the switch plates, and then she took a magic eraser through the 3 areas we talked about: the dining room, the entrance, the front porch. She really just had to do the front door, but there's little kids' sticky fingerprints everywhere. So that was really nice to do. She dusted the baseboards in those areas. Again, we have the really thick baseboards in our old house. So she did that. And the third job she chose was to dust the bottom of the chairs. So we have a wooden dining room table, and it's got all the wooden, crisscross details, and she gets down there and dusts all of them. So that was really nice. That takes a lot of strain off me, and we can actually get a zone done in a month because she's helping me. So every week she'll pick an additional 3 jobs. So real quick, the last week what she did is she dusted the furniture in those rooms, so mainly the dining room, and then we have a hutch and different things like that. She finished the table, so she polished the wood, because again it's a wooden dining room table. She polished all the wood, and then we have the little felt pads on the bottom of all our chairs so it doesn't scratch the hardwood. But what's really annoying is for some reason those felt pads collect dog hair, and we have a miniature dachshund that sheds crazily. And we have a vacuum, like a robot vacuum, and that helps. But those little hairs always get stuck on the bottom of those felt pads. So we flip the chairs over and we kind of peel off the little tiny puppy hairballs that grow on the bottom of that because it's collecting it all. So she did that. And the third thing she chose to do was to rinse off my plants. So we just take a damp cloth and a spray bottle with water, and she just gives my plants a nice dusting, as you would say, because The water one helps clean it, but then again, old house, it's dusty. So I try to do that at least once a month because that's really good for the plants, especially in the end of summer where it's warm. So she's taken on those and it's worked really awesome, and it's really freed up some of my time because again, I only have that 20-minute time to clean every day. So now that she's taking that as well, and she doesn't have a time limit, I just ask that she complete those 3 additional jobs from the binder, whichever one she chooses for the zone, by Friday. She has all week to complete those 3 jobs. It's not every single day. She has to have 3 jobs. She has 3 additional jobs for the entire week that she needs to accomplish. So that has worked really well. And then on the topic of how much to earn, so I brought this to her because I think she should have some say in it and some negotiation. I said, okay, well, I'm comfortable with about $5 a week. What do you think? And she says, well, I'm doing a lot of adult chores. I would prefer $6 a week. And I said, I agree. You are taking on more of an adult cleaning role, so I am fine giving you $6 a week. And some people will be like, oh my God, that's so low. She's 10, like she doesn't need to be earning, $50, $100 a month. I think earning $25, $24 a month is completely fine. And most of her items on her wish list are like between $15 and $35. So in a month, she can most likely get the things she wants, or she can learn to save up that money and realize that, okay, I'm gonna have to clean this much in order to get this. That's a really good skill to have as an adult because it's not this instant gratification. It's sometimes you have to put in the work in order to get what you want. So we have agreed on $6 a month, and we talked about if she prefers cash, if she prefers just keeping track of it, like a bookkeeping thing, because we tend not to have cash in our house. And like I said, most of her items are on the Amazon wish list, so I would be purchasing it from our bank account anyways. So she said she's fine, which is bookkeeping, keeping track of every week how much she's earned, and then when she reaches a certain amount or she wants to know, she can check her number and then she can compare that to her Amazon wish list. I did print a physical copy of her Amazon wish list so she can keep it in her room, and it's kind of a motivator to see, how much she has to work. So I thought I'd share what she got her first month. She got her $6 a week, so she got her $24 at the end of the month, and then she happened to lose a tooth at the same time, so she got additional money from the Tooth Fairy. But she chose to get this. This is what she was saving up for. It's a Nintendo Switch game. It's Story of the Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. It's very similar to Animal Crossing, except it has people in it, so kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of Sims, but more child appropriate. And you can, get married, you can have family, you're responsible for livestock, and she's really been enjoying it. And the fact that she worked to earn it, I think makes a really big difference in the enjoyment too. It's not one of those things she just throws to the side, oh, it's just another game. She worked hard for this, and she really likes it. So like I said, that was her first month. This month she's saving up for a Tamagotchi, like I said. But that is how we've handled allowance. And of course, my 6.5-year-old is more than welcome to earn an allowance too, if she would like to. But personally, she doesn't want to. She's not that interested in stuff. She's more the creative, give me a box of recycling and I'll make something out of it, which is completely fine. But if there comes a time when she wants to earn money to buy different things, she's more than welcome to join the allowance and do what we're doing here. And again, I will do the same thing. I will just add her to my list, and who knows, maybe with all 3 of my kids one day helping with this list, I won't have very much to do at all, which would be amazing. So that is everything we're doing for an allowance. It's worked out really well, like I said, for this past month. No, I didn't have to remind her. She's definitely a more motivated child, type A, get things done, and the fact that she gets what she wants at the end is such a great motivator. So if you're looking for a way to incorporate cleaning in your house or get your kids to do more, it's worked really well for us. I'd love to hear how you handle allowance in your families, because again, this is my first time kind of really delving into this area with my oldest, so I'm always open for suggestions or ideas. If you have any specific questions about anything I talked about, leave them in the comments below. If not, thank you for watching.